Good boy, Tucker.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
Work smarter where you want.
Consistency is key.
And remember, if it's not in Redtail, it never happened.
This is learning at its most fun. All right, welcome everyone to another Thursday continuing education webinar. My name is Rick Williamson. Everyone knows me as Ricky Redtail, and I am the lead trainer here at Redtail Technology. And today we will be tackling a question that we get oftentimes in support. We get it a lot in training as well, and that is, what is the difference between tag groups and keywords? The ultimate debate, if you will, on the difference between the two. What are the differences in application? What are the differences in usage, approach? Which one is better than the other? We're going to be talking about all of that today. Now, spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a gigantic difference between the two. Right off the bat, one of the big things that I like to point out to our users is that the things that we teach here in our continuing education webinars at Redtail University is that what we say are as best practices. It's not written in stone. You do not have to follow everything that we say to the letter, right? But, we like to give you different options, different ways to tackle similar problems. So that's what we're going to do today is we are going to break down tag groups, keywords. We're going to talk about their similarities. We're going to talk about their differences. We're going to show you how to create them, how to assign them, how to access them, things like that. I would encourage you, though, we are not going to get into a really deep look at the application of them in terms of like searching and segmenting. That is going to be for our upcoming webinar focusing all about searching. So if you're not signed up for that, or if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and sign up for it or check it out after you're watching this video, whether you're in the present or the future. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over into my CRM, and I want to make sure that I am showing everybody my screen. And so we're going to go through the two differences. Again, we're going to go through keywords, we're going to go through tag groups, and exactly what the differences are between the two. Now, keywords as an application are typically used to answer a yes or a no question. For example, do they get a newsletter? Yes or no. Are they an investment client? Yes or no. All of these items can be answered, or all of keywords, I should say, can be answered with a simple yes or no. Now, in order to actually put them together and actually build them out, what we are going to do is we are going to go into our CRM up to the top right-hand corner where it says our name, and then we're going to click on that and go to manage your account. Now, one way that we can add keywords to use later on is underneath admins only, right here at the bottom, underneath manage database lists. If you're not an admin, then you're not going to see this menu at all. If you are an admin, boom, you're going to see it. We're going to click manage database lists here, and then we get a whole bunch of lists over on the right-hand side. Today, though, we are focusing specifically underneath contacts where it says keywords. Now, when we click on that, what you are looking at here inside of our training database that we use to train people on is a bunch of sample keywords, all right? Now, these sample keywords vary from everything from services that are provided. If we scroll down, we see that we have keywords that are based on admin purposes. Scroll down a little bit further, we have events, holidays, and things like that. Keywords are one-off fields that you can build as a list and then add them to client records as you see fit. You can either add them on a one-on-one basis, or you can add them in bulk, and we'll make sure that we show you how to do that a little bit later. But in order to add and edit keywords to a list, one place to do so is right where we are at right now. If I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to click add, then what I can do is I can go ahead and add any type of keyword that I want. So for example, I do not know, let me double check. I want to see if we have tax client. We do already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add something to the effect of cryptocurrency client. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll add that. You know what? Let's make it a little shorter. Let's say crypto. All right. Now you'll notice something when I typed out this keyword is I put a little dash in front of it. That is because keywords are listed alphabetically. So a good way to separate keywords based on similar application is to make key phrases or use things like dashes. So when I add this keyword in, you'll notice that it goes in alphabetically, and every single one of the services that I provide has a dash in front of it. Now, if you've never added keywords before, you're not going to have anything on this list right now. So you are more than welcome to pause the video. I'll make sure that I leave this right here so that you can take a look at it. As a matter of fact, we also have for your disposal, probably at the very bottom of the page in which you're watching this video. If you're watching us live, we'll make sure that we get you a sample database list page that has some of these keywords on it. If you're interested about where to start, that is definitely going to be a good resource for you. We'll make sure that everybody gets one. But as I scroll down here, you'll notice that every single keyword has an action button, and that action button allows us to edit or delete those keywords. So what I want to do is I want to go down to tax client right here, and I want to edit it because it's typed in incorrectly. There should be a space right here. I'm a little stickler for those type of details. And so now you can see, boom, there it is. It's all added. Those are all of the services that we provide. But again, remember, keywords are designed to answer yes or no questions. So are they a favorite client? Yes or no. Do they get printed reports? Yes or no. Do they like baseball? Yes or no. Do they celebrate? What holidays do they celebrate? Do they celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Festivus, Chinese New Year, whatever? Yes or no. Do they get birthday cards? Yes or no. Do they get our newsletter? There you go. Yes or no. And you see that we have them all divided by mailing, holidays, things like that. So super easy to do. Again, remember the reason that we added the dashes or admin or email or event or anything like that is simply to better organize our keywords because they are listed as alphabetical in alphabetical order. So if we didn't put the dash in here, another example that I might suggest is you put in something like services provided. And then that way, all of the services that we provide are going to be grouped together. So you'll see that all of the services that we provide here are grouped together because they start with a dash. All of the services, or I'm sorry, all of the admin keywords that we care about, they're all grouped together because they start with admin. So again, keywords are a list of fields that can be created and then added to contacts over and over again. You can add as many as you want to a single contact record. Tag groups, very, very, very similar, except tag groups are a list of names that you create manually and you add to and remove from manually. They are not pre-created in the managed database list section that we're looking at right here. They are created in other places. One of the places that you can create them is underneath contacts. Over on our left-hand side here, we will click on contacts and we will click on lists right up at the top. And you'll notice we have access to quick lists and then our tag groups right there. So if I click on tag groups, I can add a new group right here. Again, remember what I'm doing is I am creating a manual list. So I can go ahead and I can call this, let's say like a good example of a tag group would be a call list. All right. Call list. Any name on this list needs an update call. Remove when called, right? I'm giving work instructions. This is one really good use for tag groups in that if you're an advisor with multiple support staff members and you need to just have these people reached out to, you can create a tag group and then manually add and remove contacts from that tag group. Okay. Now, one way to add contacts to a tag group is we can go in here and we can view members. We can click on the number. Either way, that is going to take us to our list of tag groups. And in order to add a member, we can do so right here. Let's go ahead and let's add Bruce Wayne. All right. We'll search for Bruce. We'll add Batman there. There he is. And now Bruce is on our tag group list. And then if we refresh this page, you'll notice that our call list now not only is alphabetical, but it has one tagged contact. We can also add somebody else if we want to, like Clark Kent. We'll go ahead and find Clark Kent. We'll add him on there as well. Want to add one more? Sure, let's do it. Let's do Diana Prince, shall we? Let's add Wonder Woman on there. So there, that is how we can add people to a tag group. Another way that we can remove them is, again, by going to that list, by clicking on the number that we have, and then clicking the action button to remove them. So if I were to call Clark Kent, I would want to remove them from this list. Are you sure you want to remove them? Sure. Another good usage of a tag group is for creating a marketing list. And that is one of the biggest differences between utilizing keywords and tag groups is that tag groups are often utilized by marketing integration partners such as FMG Suite, FMX. I believe actually those are two of the biggest two of the biggest ones. I believe Snappy Kraken. Um, couple of big ones there. And what they actually allow you to do is they actually allow you to import contacts from Redtail via tag group. So you'll see that we have some tag groups based on FMX lists. We have some based on FMG, some based on webinar leads or website leads and things like that. So that is a really important usage. That is a big difference between keywords and tag groups. All righty. Now, remember, keywords are a list of fields that can be added to a contact record. Tag groups are a manual list created in which you manually take names and add them or remove them from that list. Both of them can be accessed on the contact record. As a matter of fact, it is much easier and faster to remove and add keywords and tag groups to this list right here from a single contact record. So let's go and let's open up another contact. Let's do Tony Stark. Let's search for Tony Stark here. We'll go ahead and we will bring up Tony. Boom, takes us right here. I can access this from one of two places. Number one, I can always go to Know Your Client. That is where keywords and tag groups exist. Or I can just scroll down just a little bit and find that one look section right here. Now, this one look section gives you a brief look into the Know Your Client page, particularly keywords and tag groups right next to one another. And it's very easy to add and remove. If I want to add new keywords, all I have to do is click add. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring up a list of keywords for me to select from. I can select as many as I want. So shockingly, Tony Stark's a crypto client. Let's say he's also interested in retiring soon. Let's say he likes getting, no, he definitely wouldn't like getting printed reports. He likes golf, sure. He celebrates Halloween, definitely likes to dress up in costumes, gets our holiday card, our newsletter card, things like that. One other cool aspect here is that if I wanted to create a brand new keyword, for example, let's say, I wonder if we have one already. Let's find out here. It doesn't look like we have a will client. So if we have will and oh, we do already have will. No, we don't. Perfect. Will and testament client. You'll notice, hey, look right up here. It is prompting us to be able to create a new keyword if we wanted to. If we wanted to, this creates a brand new keyword that can then be used on all of the other contact records. So this creates one, adds it to the list, and allows us to utilize it. So we go ahead and select that one. We'll go ahead and we'll save it. And our list of keywords, boom, it's going to get a lot longer. Tag groups, you'll notice right next door, almost identical. If I want to remove somebody from a keyword, if I want to remove, a keyword from somebody's page, I am going ahead and remove that just by clicking the action button and removing that keyword. It's going to ask me if I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. It disappears. Tag group, same thing. Except remember, what we are doing is instead of adding a field, we are adding somebody to a list in this case. So tag groups, if I want to add, same concept. If I wanted to create a new tag group, such as a marketing tag group, see how it prompts us the same thing. We can create a brand new group from here as well if we wanted to do so. So if we wanted to add Tony to that brand new marketing tag group, if we wanted to add him to our FMX transfer prep, whatever we want to do, we can do so right from this individual page. We'll save those options. Boom, you see that they show up right there on the list. Now that is the way to access and add tag groups and keywords on an individual level. Right. And again, remember, anytime we want to remove them, like let's say Tony's not into golf anymore, we'll remove that keyword. It asks us, it prompts us to confirm that move. If we want to remove Tony from one of the tag groups, we can remove him from the tag group. It is going to, again, prompt us to confirm that change, right? Very, very similar right here. There's one last way that we can add contacts on multiple keywords or add multiple contacts to a tag group, and that is in bulk. Now, if you've ever trained with me before or ever trained in Redtail, you'll know that anytime you want to do something in bulk, you want to get to the search page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a pre-created quick list, and I'm just going to click on one. Let's go ahead and let's just say our active AAA clients. Go ahead and click that. That's going to run our search really quickly. 76 records. Now, if I wanted to add a keyword to all 76 records, all I have to do is select all 76. I want to make sure, because you'll notice that it's only selecting 50 records. I want to make sure that I select all 76. I'm going to click on my contact options, and I'm going to go to bulk actions. Now, remember, what we are doing now is we are adding a keyword. There it is, assign keyword. If I want to assign a single keyword, I can go ahead and assign that right here in bulk. You'll notice that it doesn't let us click through and check through all of them right here. That's by design. What we can do is we go ahead and let's say every single one of them is going to be a favorite client and get that keyword. We'll make sure that we assign that keyword out. And of course, something went wrong. Typically, that happens when somebody else is running a search at the same time as me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this goes a little bit smaller here. So let's do contacts. Actually, you know what? I am going to do accounts, and we're going to do portfolio balance. We'll just say greater than or equal to, I will do like 400,000. That should reduce the amount of contacts that we have. 9, perfect. So I'm going to select 9. And again, anytime you want to go to bulk actions, assign keywords, we'll pick the keyword that we want to pick. What was the new one I created? Will and Testament. There it is, available on our list. We can go ahead and assign that keyword. And then all 9 records are now going to have that keyword. You can do the same thing with a tag group by clicking add to tag group. See how they're right next to one another? Very similar again, but key differences. In my opinion, I think tag groups are a little bit more manual. Okay, there is the adding of names to lists, the removing of names to lists, and things like that. It just has always felt like there is one additional step in order to get people onto a particular tag group, such as best clients ever. Now, with keywords, it's literally just a matter of removing or adding a keyword to single contacts one by one. Now, the last thing that I want to mention before we wrap up here, actually, 2 more things that I want to mention is number 1, you can remove keywords in bulk and remove people from tag groups in bulk. Those are both available right here. So if I want to wipe a keyword or I want to wipe a tag group from my entire database, I can pull up my database here and remove that single keyword. That's a very easy way to do it. So remember, you do have the ability to add in bulk. You have the ability to remove in bulk. The last thing that I really want to talk about is just where you can access these lists going forward. Okay. Now, first and foremost, one of the places that you can access tag groups is underneath recently viewed up in the top right-hand corner. Recently viewed not only is going to give you a list of your last dozen viewed contacts, but it also gives you access to quick lists and tag groups all right here. Now, these are not your last viewed tag groups. These are all of your tag groups, all of your quick lists, all of your tag groups. They're all visible here underneath recently viewed. And if I click on one of those, best clients ever, what it's going to do is it's going to bring up everybody on that list in my search page. So 84 separate records. Now, how do we look up everybody who has a particular keyword? We do that in a search. So if I wanted to look for somebody with a particular keyword, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to contact keywords, and then I'm going to select the actual keyword is equal to, and then we'll find our list here. So if I want to look for everybody who is doing, let's say, direct investment with us, we'll go ahead and we'll run that search, and it brings up all 30 records who have that keyword assigned to them. Now, what I can do is I can save this search and say direct investment contacts, right? Keep it simple, keep it straightforward. Every contact with the direct investment keyword, we'll go ahead and save that. Now, that list is also accessible underneath recently viewed. Again, we click on that, we find quick lists. If I scroll down to the D, there it is, direct investment contacts. Remember, we are saving our search. We're going to get into a little bit more detail with quick lists on our searching webinar, but in order to create a quick list, you put an advanced search together and then you save that search. The last place where you can access keywords or tag groups is, again, back underneath contacts, where we have the ability to click on lists, access our tag groups, as I showed you once before, and access our quick lists. This is pretty much the same thing as using recently viewed, except that I can view details, I can clone these quick lists, I can delete them if need be. Whereas with the tag groups, same thing. If I wanted to add additional people, if I wanted to delete quick lists, things like that. Heck, if I wanted to take all of the particular records that we have, for example, all of my best clients ever, and send them to the search page, we have the ability to do so right from here. The last thing that I want to mention before I wrap up is that not only are keywords searchable, but tag groups are searchable as well. So they almost have the same identical feature when it comes to searching. Now, what the difference is you're searching for keywords or you're searching for tag groups. That is really it. There's not a huge difference there. The biggest difference between keywords versus tag groups, in my opinion, is twofold. Number one, it is the application, right? In order to remove a keyword from somebody's list, if I go to Jonathan Adams here and I want to remove a keyword, just boom, click, remove a keyword, great. If I don't remove a tag group, it's almost identical. Creating tag groups takes one extra step typically. If I want to go and create that tag group, manually add names, manually remove names, there is that one additional step of creating the group, right? Keywords, boom, 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 boom. I don't have to create the group at all. I just add the keywords as I have them. But with tag groups, I got to make sure that group is created, whether it be on this page or whether it be from the list section, before I can start adding multiple people to that group. All right. The last difference is that keywords typically best utilized for searching, whereas tag groups, remember, have a big hand in some of our marketing integrations. You can create specific tag groups that are then pulled over into our marketing integration services. So that's something that keywords/quick lists do not allow. That might be the deciding factor for some people in regards to which you want to use, keywords or tag groups. But hopefully, what this webinar has shown you is that there's not a gigantic difference between the two. Really, purely from a functionality standpoint, tag groups are a little bit more manual. They take that one additional step, but they have the power of being able to be used with integrations. With keywords, it's literally, boom, I can add keywords in bulk. I can add them individually. I can remove them individually. And then those quick lists will adjust automatically based on the keywords that I add to new records, the keywords that I remove from old records. Those quick lists will change as your data changes, as your keywords change. So that will do it for this particular session, for the ultimate debate between tag groups and keywords. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this. Make sure that you do the research on tag groups and webinars, and make sure that you look on our help desk for that particular piece of documentation that has our sample database lists. If you can't find it, you can always reach out to us. We'll make sure that we take care of you. Thanks a lot for being a part of this webinar today. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us today for this session. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support. Or you can email support@redtailtechnology.com. Thank you and have a marvelous day.